Okay, so hi guys. I think at this point I've played out about 20 different scenarios as to how this intro could go, but I couldn't film the right one. I just didn't know how to. So before we get into the video, I just want to quickly mention that mental health is something that I'm so passionate about. It's a topic that's very close to my heart, and throughout this video it's going to be hard for me to talk about a lot of things, but I'm going to try to bring attention to as many as I can, and hopefully this video can create an impact on you guys or help someone out in need. That's the aim of this video. And just wanted to clear it up, just wanted to say that I care about this topic so deeply, so I'm gonna be as honest and as real as I can with you guys. So that being said, let's get into it. Okay, so a reason why I wanted to kind of put this video out now was that I figured that this was a good video to start the year off with. 2020 was a mentally draining year for everybody. I feel everybody went through something. People who had never dealt with anxiety and depression went through it last year. People felt lonely and alone, and I get it, it was a year that was hard on everybody. So I wanted to kind of create this video going into the new year to kind of radiate positivity and kind of help those people out. And nobody should have to start off a year with a bad mindset, so hopefully this video can help you guys if you're going through something, and that's just the aim of this video. Let's just get right into it. Going right into it, I'm going to be talking about anxiety and depression, which are like the crux of this video, and I will be drawing from personal experiences too. So talking about depression, I underwent depression, severe depression, for the first time when I was in, I believe I was 13, so 8th grade, and a lot of it came from just a lot of health issues. I've always had so many health issues, and I think at that point I was dealing with so much stuff personally and health-wise that it made me feel so overwhelmed, and I don't exactly know how, but it just kind of brought me in a very bad mindset, and I was in a very dark place mentally, and I just felt like there was no treatment. I wouldn't get better for whatever I was going through, and that just put me in depression basically, and it was hard to get out of it. It was so hard. I didn't even realize I was in depression, honestly. There were a lot of symptoms obviously that were clear indicators of the fact that I was in depression, but I was so young at the time. I was barely a teenager that I didn't actually know that there was a term for it or what it was exactly. At the time there wasn't a lot of emphasis on mental health either, so these things were not talked about as much, so nobody really knew how to handle it. So it took a while to figure out exactly what was going on, and my mom was the one who brought this to my notice and was like, you know, you're going into depression and this is what's happening to you. And then I looked it up and did my research and everything and found out what it was. So now basically people think that depression is just sadness, and there's just so much more to depression than what people make of it. It's not just being sad or lonely or not feeling like yourself. There's so much more to it than that. You feel so mentally drained and exhausted, and there's so many things that can just make you feel out of place and make you feel like you don't belong, or just really mess with your mindset. And that's what happened to me, and I've had a lot of friends who've gone through similar things. So depression basically is all that and so much more. It can be really exhausting, it can be mentally draining like I said, and it's so hard to pull yourself out of a dark place like that and to radiate positivity. There's always cure for these kind of things, and it's very hard to pull yourself out of depression, especially for me, because I was in severe depression. It was so bad that I had literally cut everybody off. I would stay in my room 24/7, and it was so bad that I didn't attend school half a year. I think I only had 50% attendance that year. Fortunately, I didn't have like a strict attendance schedule in 8th grade, so I could bunk school, but I was so depressed that I literally missed school, and it really affected my grades. And since I was not going to school, it affected my grades and it affected me giving examinations. That's where my anxiety came from. I started getting anxious before every single exam, especially missing school half the year that year. I literally had no idea what was going on in school. I was trying to keep up, but I just couldn't cope, and it was a lot of work at once, and it completely overwhelmed me. So I started getting anxiety before giving examinations and stuff. Like I would feel physically sick because of how anxious I was, and before every exam, like, it would affect my mental health and it would affect my physical health too, which was just really bad for me. To this day, I still get anxious before every single exam, even if it's like an open book test, and I will stress myself out to a point where I will convince myself that I'm not ready for an exam even when I'm 100% prepared for it. So it does take a toll on your mindset, it does take a toll on your mental health. So to get through my anxiety and depression, what I did was, I'm not saying it went away completely, it never went away completely. I thought that it did when I got through it at first, but little did I know that it kept coming back. Depression still is something that I struggle with, so is anxiety, especially since December. It's been really bad. I have had a lot of things on my plate, and it just seemed too much, and I completely overworked myself to a point where I just wasn't enjoying what I was doing, and I needed a break from everything, but I'd just taken so much on that I couldn't take a break, and it really affected my mental health. I've had really bad mental health these past few weeks especially. There's been a lot that's been going on in my life which I might talk about. It's so difficult to talk about, but I'll try to. So dealing with depression and anxiety, for me, it helped. Firstly, I know it's so hard to talk to people, but that is something that really got me through it. Talking to people. You need to talk to people. I know when you're going through mental health issues, it seems like you can't really talk to people and it feels hard opening up. But trust me, the more things you keep bottled up inside you, the harder it will be for you to stay positive. So you need to talk to people, no matter who it is. I found comfort in talking to my friends and family. It was really hard. I started by opening up to my mom, and then eventually to my best friends and letting them in on what was happening, and it really helped. It helped clear my mind. It even helps crying it out. That's something I do to this day. Whenever I'm just overwhelmed, I just have a good cry. It doesn't mean you're weak. Honestly, it shows that you're strong, and you need to let all of that stuff out, no matter how it is. Some people prefer to take a day to themselves, to just go for a walk, clear their head, just do whatever it takes for you to bring yourself in a better place. So depression and anxiety does have cure, but there are some things that come out of it that can really drain you. So I'm going to be talking about those next. So talking from an anxiety point of view, some things that can happen as a result of excessive anxiety is, number one, panic attacks. This is something that when I asked you guys what you wanted me to cover in this video, you guys said that I should talk about this. And personally, I've had a few. I've never had a full-fledged panic attack, fortunately, but I've had like little ones which were controllable, fortunately. The very first one that I had, I was alone when it happened. There was nobody at home, it was just me, and it came out of nowhere. That's the worst thing about panic attacks, you can never see them coming. And basically what happened was that I was fine. I was completely fine 1 minute, and then in a matter of 30 seconds or a minute, I managed to completely freak myself out about everything that I had to do. I had a lot of stuff on my plate and I just hadn't realized it. I just started thinking about it, and it all hit me out of nowhere at once, and it completely overwhelmed me, and my heart started racing, my mind was foggy, I couldn't think straight, I couldn't think my way out of it, I couldn't think of a solution, and I was running short of breath, and my chest was feeling heavy, and my heart was pounding, my head was racing. It was just really bad. It lasted around 5 minutes where I managed to completely freak myself out, at the end of which I had a mental breakdown. But I did manage to control it. The biggest thing with panic attacks is, the only way that I found you can pull yourself out of it is to try to distract yourself. Take deep breaths firstly. That's something that helps. You need to take deep breaths. You kind of need to monitor your breathing, make sure that you calm yourself down, drink water or get a cold pack or something, and just lie down. Whenever I have one, I just completely lie down on my bed and wait for it to pass. I take deep breaths and it passes on its own. And try to distract yourself, try to think of things that make you happy, or honestly just put on some music that makes you happy. That really helped me. So Panic attacks come out of nowhere, they're confusing, they're overwhelming, and they are a major consequence of excessive anxiety. But these are a few things that you can do to get through them, and there are a lot more that you can look up, I'm sure, that can help you get through yours, because everybody deals with panic attacks differently. Some things might work for you, some things might not. So look up things that you think might help you get through them. This next thing is something that's super hard for me to talk about, but since we're on the subject of anxiety, I'm going to talk about it. My anxiety became an issue so much so that it started not only affecting me mentally but also physically. It started taking physical forms, and I don't know if you guys have noticed in my past videos, I tried to cover it up most of the times by wearing full sleeves and stuff, but my anxiety got so bad that I developed a very bad skin condition. I'm very insecure about it. I'm pretty sure throughout this video you might have noticed. So if you see, this is like completely red and wrinkly. I've got it on both my hands, and I'm so insecure about it, which is why mostly I'm dressed in full sleeves and I don't really show my hands as much, which is why I've not been doing creative videos too, because this has been affecting my mental health and my physical health. This is incredibly hard to talk about because it makes me so insecure, and insecurities are a completely different video. Maybe I'll do some other time. But yeah, this is something that I've been struggling with. I've been on heavy treatment for the past, I'd say, since November, so 3-4 months now, and I've switched doctors every month. So right now I saw a doctor about 2 days ago, a new doctor with a new treatment plan, so it is treatable, which fortunately for me is great news, and I will get through it. This is why I've had a lot of mental breakdowns and a lot of anxiety attacks these past couple of weeks, and my mental health has been at an all-time low because I just couldn't see myself getting better even after months and months of treatment. Okay, so yeah, it was really bad, and I couldn't get myself to talk about it either. It was just affecting me to a point where I couldn't talk about it, and I felt so insecure. But it is getting better. Like, I've been on this treatment for just 2 days and I can already see a difference. This used to be like blood red. It was like a fiery red because it was so irritated, but it's definitely a lot better now, and hopefully it will get better completely. It will be 100%. So yeah, anxiety can take physical forms too, and every time my anxiety flares up, I tend to get really affected physically and mentally. So that's something I've been struggling with, but I'm getting treatment for it and I will be through it, hopefully. Now, social anxiety is something that's again huge. I think I had social anxiety for a brief period, especially in 8th grade. Like I talk about, when I went through depression, I cut everybody out of my life. I wasn't going down, I wasn't seeing my friends, I was cutting school half the time, so I wasn't seeing my school friends either. So I was literally seeing no one. I was at home 24/7, and when I started going back out and seeing friends, I started getting social anxiety because of the amount of people that were around me after a point of time, because I wasn't used to it. So I still do kind of get social anxiety sometimes when I'm in a party or at a public place with a lot of people that I don't really know, or where I feel like I don't fit in with a certain group of people. Social anxiety basically will overwhelm you, and it will make you feel out of place at a particular place, a particular event or something, and it's very overwhelming, but there are ways to get through it. One thing that I've always found is that you can always rely on one friend to get you through it. So whenever I get social anxiety, I tend to go to these kind of parties with like one friend that I know that I can stick throughout, who will take care of me, because you can like literally find comfort in knowing that you have that one friend there with you who can stick by you, and you know that one person. So try to kind of find that one person at this kind of a social setting where you feeling social anxiety. Try to find that one person that can get you through it. Try to distract yourself, try to make new friends. Obviously with social anxiety, socializing is really hard, so you can try slowly but surely. But when you do feel overwhelmed at such events or in a social situation like this, another thing you can do is just step out for a while. Just take a breather, take a few moments for yourself, take a walk, clear your head, it's okay, and then head back in with a clear mindset so that you feel fresher and not as overwhelmed. So that's something that really helps with social anxiety. Another thing that I really wanted to talk about were burnouts. I've had quite a few. Honestly, I have burnouts, especially during exam season and when I have a lot on my plate in general. Burnouts are again when you've worked yourself up to a point where it just really hits you all at once and you cannot keep going, but you still have a lot to do, so it feels mentally draining and frustrating. So burnouts are very common, and I'm pretty sure most of you have gone through it. A great way to deal with burnouts, which I've found to be true, is that you need to take a break. It seems hard, I know, especially when you have a lot on your plate. That's usually why burnouts happen, but you need to take a break. What I found is super helpful is that even when I have like a crazy, tedious, tight schedule, I will take one day, just 24 hours to myself, and just forget about everything else, take a mental health day, and then do stuff that I feel good doing and that will make me feel better. So stuff like I'll just listen to music, or I'll sleep half the time, whatever, or I'll binge watch a show, hang out with some friends, or you can just spend it by yourself. You don't need people around you if that's what works for you. So find things that work for you, that help you get through this kind of stuff. Your mental health day might be different from mine. You might want to watch video games or go to the movies or whatever. So but it is very, 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 very important to take that one day to yourself where you're just kind of doing things that you love. So just listen to music, chill back, relax. And even though it seems impossible to fit a mental health day in between such a tight schedule when you're having a burnout, just do it. Trust me, if you overwork yourself, you're never going to be able to bounce back stronger than the next day. So take that day to yourself, take some time to yourself, and trust me, you will feel so much better the next day, and going into things with a clearer mindset will help you out indefinitely. Okay, so talking about some common symptoms that can trigger mental health, or that can, cause depression and anxiety. People wanted me to talk about this. Obviously, a few common ones were for depression and mental health issues in general are loss of sleep, you feel overwhelmed, you're dysfunctional, obviously, like you start to feel unlike yourself, cutting people off, not socializing, being in a dark mindset, being in a dark place mentally, and not being able to think, feeling depressed all the time, feeling lonely, feeling sad, not loss of appetite. Stuff like this are like common symptoms for mental health struggles. And obviously there are different ways to identify this. Everybody has different symptoms when they start going into depression or anxiety. It's not the same for everyone, so you may have different symptoms from somebody else. You can't really compare them, but I think you will eventually find your mental trigger. Like, there will be a voice inside your head that tells you that something is wrong and that you need to kind of identify it. It's just a natural instinct. I don't really know how to explain it, but it will happen. You will figure it out. But these are some common symptoms that trigger mental health issues. So if you feel like these are some things that you've been going through, then stay on the lookout. And obviously I will be giving you tips on how you can deal with stuff. So moving on to those. Okay, so moving on to tips and suggestions. Again, like I said, very important is to take a mental health day to yourself. Take a day to yourself. Take 2 days to yourself. How many ever you need to bounce back stronger. Remember, the comeback is always stronger than the setback. So come back, bounce back stronger. Just take that time to yourself. You really need that, and trust me, it will get you through so much and will make such a difference. Another thing that people mostly rely on, which I think I'm gonna start for my anxiety related issues because it's affecting my physical health too, is I might start counseling. I gave it a shot a couple of years ago in 8th grade, like I said, when I eventually was diagnosed with depression. I took 2 counseling sessions, but I felt like it didn't work for me. I've never really talked about this with anyone. There are very limited people who know about this, because I felt like talking about going to see a psychiatrist or seeing a counselor was just like, people would think something was wrong with me. Like, I started thinking something was wrong with me, and that's why I stopped counseling sessions. But I realized that it's kind of important. So it's been recommended to me by my doctors and the current treatment plan that I am for to cure this. So I will be attending counseling, and hopefully that will help. That's something I think that people struggle to talk about, the fact that they need therapy or counseling, because it seems weird, but it's really not. If it's something that will help you, then absolutely go for it. I recommend that you do if you need to. Sometimes it's just easier to talk to a stranger, it's harder to open up to people that you know, because you feel like they might judge you. I've definitely felt that way. So it's easier talking to a stranger because you don't really know them, they don't really know you, so you feel like there might not be as much judgment there, and it's just easier to open up to those kind of people. So therapy and counseling is a definite option for you if you need it, so definitely seek help. But if you don't want to do that, then there are so many more helplines available. There are so many, I think, group chats and online seminars and video calls with people where you can attend those and really get the help you need and talk to people who are going through the same thing. But there's so many more helplines are available now that you can avail and make use of, so go check those out if you need to. Those are completely private and most of them are anonymous, so you can really have your privacy and you can really open up to people. Some other things, then obviously if you don't feel comfortable talking to strangers, then you can talk to your friends and family. That helped me in definitely opening up. I tend to keep things to myself and to bottle everything up, and then I have like these mental breakdowns and sudden outbursts where everything comes out at once, which is just really bad for me. So I started talking to friends and family and seeking comfort in the fact that they know me and they know what's best for me, and I know that they'll always be there for me. So that's really helped me. So talk to your friends, talk to your family, talk to your loved ones, or if you want, talk to me. Honestly, my DMs are always open. If you feel like you can't really talk to anyone, trust me, I've been through all of it. You name it, I've been through it. I've dealt with mental health issues for so long now that I practically feel like I know everything there is. So if you ever feel like you need somebody to talk to but you can't talk to anyone, then I can be that person for you if you want me to. So text me, DM me, call me, whatever, and hopefully I can help you. Okay, so I feel like I've been talking for like an hour now, and this video is running way too long, so I'm gonna end it here. Hopefully this video can create an impact on a lot of you guys. It was really hard talking about this, but I knew it needed to be brought attention to. I'm so grateful that there are so many more options now available about mental health and people are talking about it and it's getting the attention that it deserves. Hopefully this video can contribute to that. So I hope it can give you some suggestions, give you some positivity. At the end of it, it's all your mindset. Your mind is your biggest enemy at times, so anything that you're going through, it's your mindset that you need to change. So just think positive, and honestly that's just the biggest thing. So hopefully this video can create an impact on you guys. That's basically my aim with this, is to help as many people out as I can, because I've struggled with this my whole life and I really want others to be able to relate and to kind of get through it and know that you will get through it. I kind of lost that belief for a while there, but I know that I will get through it. So you will get through it. You got this, we got this. That's kind of like my new slogan for my channel, I think. We got this. So yes, 2021, we got this for the rest of our lives. So just chill out, relax, and you will get through this, I promise you. Like I said, I'm always here to talk to you guys if you need me to, and I love you guys so much. That being said, I need to kind of update you guys on something. Because of all my current treatment, like I talk about, I'm on heavy treatment and I've just not been in a very good place mentally, and I have all the videos that I have planned for after this one are creative videos where I will need to like kind of work and show you guys how to do stuff. So doing that with my hands condition right now is going to be very hard. So until they heal, I'm going to be taking a little mental health break from YouTube. I'm going to upload if I can, when I can, but I really need a mental health break right now because I have boards on my head too, and I just got done with entrances and stuff like that, so this has just been too much and I'm honestly burning out, so I need a little mental health break. So I will be going off YouTube for a while, but I promise I'll bounce back stronger. So I hope this video helps you in some way. If you know somebody that needs help, then please send this to them. And that's something else. Please, if you know somebody that's going through all these struggles, try to be the light for them. Try to be the person that they can rely on. Try to be the person that can help them even if they don't need it, even if they seem like they don't need it. Trust me, everybody is fighting a battle you know nothing about. So try to be kindness in a world where you can be anything, be kind. So just if you know somebody that needs help, then help them out. you never know what a difference it can make. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Like always, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, turn on the little bell notification, and I will see you guys soon. Thank you for watching. I love you guys. Bye.